so I might get proven right even before I finish telling you. But see those clouds? It's been sunny most of the day. Just recently in the last hour or so it got really cloudy. And so I think it's gonna rain on the way home. I'll show you if it does. But yeah, I think it's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. Well, here's the rain. I don't know how well you can see it on my window, but here it is. I just got to Marion and it's starting to rain. Morning, Charlie. Morning, Pippi. Hey guys, so walk with me, talk with me. It's fine, obviously. Darkness! Hi. About tripped over Peppy, trying to run from me down the stairs. Good morning. Oh my goodness. You don't want to see it. So, what was I going to say? Oh, I talked to you guys yesterday morning. The last clips you saw were from yesterday morning. Including those in this video because they weren't long enough to be their own video. It was raining yesterday. Yeah. I tried to give Peppy a whole ton of food. That's probably okay. It's a little more than I prefer, but I try not to give her a ton of food because she likes to try to eat it all at once. And she has a thing that if she eats too much, not really a thing, there's a thing about her that if she eats too much at once, she throws up. I hope you're not getting dizzy going around in circles. And then we have to clean it up, or sometimes Charlie decides he wants to eat it, and so he's our cleaner. Gross, yeah, I know. But hey, at least it makes it so we don't have to clean it sometimes. But anyway, I'm talking to you guys this morning, especially because I didn't talk to you last night. I went to bed early, pretty early last night. It was like 8 something, I think. Maybe 9. It might have been after 9 when I went to bed last night. But it was earlier than usual. I don't know, for a while. Last several nights that I've gone to bed for work. Peppy, please don't eat too much. Last several nights that I've gone to bed before getting up for work, it's been mostly after 11. But anyway, I had a pretty good sleep last night. I knew that, well, partly because I was just tired, and it was getting to the point that if I did my workout, which I should have, if I did my workout, then by the time I got my workout done and got a shower, I just need to go to the trash, I don't know where that came from. By the time I got my workout in and got a shower, it would be way past, it would probably be closer to 12, and I needed to get up by 8, or I needed to be to work by 8 today, so I needed to get up like 5:30 this morning. It was closer to 6 by the time I got out of bed, but I gotta be to work at 8 today. I have to take the 12-year-old of the kids in this family that I watch. The 12-year-old I have to take to, or no, yeah, 12 I think, not 13. The 12-year-old, yeah, to basketball camp at 9. His mom's been taking him the first 2 days this week. I need to practice being slower. His mom took him the first 2 days this week and just either went to work later or well, yeah, in yesterday's case, or Monday, she just worked from home. But today she has a meeting at 9 and he has to be at the basketball camp at 9. So I am going to take him to basketball camp, and then I'm going to pick him up at 1, which I've done the last 2 days. So there's that. So I have to be there, which means since I'm the only one that's going to be there to take him, I have to wake up the 2-year-old at like 8:30, and I'll just keep him in his pajamas, maybe give him a mush thing, which is like a, they call it a mushy, or his grandma calls it a mushy mush or something. I call it a mush because I don't know what else to call it. They're all kind of called different things. It's like a baby food thing, kind of like one of those applesauce to-go things that they like drink out of, but it's like a mixture of different foods and stuff, so it's like baby food on the go. But whatever. We give him that in the car sometimes and stuff. So I'll probably give him one of those for the trip. And if he falls asleep, I guess that's fine. But I will go and drop off the older brother and then go back and hang out. But there's that. The dogs are outside. And Brett and I both laid down at the same time last night. She's like, oh, somebody's still here. Brett and I both laid down at the same time last night. Let's see now. He's still unaware. But then he got up and worked on school stuff, which apparently he didn't get everything done, unfortunately. I don't know what happened. I didn't really ask all that stuff because I wanted to sleep a little longer this morning and not wake myself fully up asking questions. But hopefully he got what needed to be done, I guess. I don't know. I hope he's doing okay in that. But today's Wednesday. That means he's gonna be home late. Yeah, I can make that thing Friday anyway because I can't make it today or tomorrow. Keep forgetting about that. Anyway, so yeah, the dogs are out. I thought he said he would take them in when he got up. Later, I'm not sure what time it was that he got up later. But I have a feeling he didn't let them back in. I think they've just been in all night. I saw they were out this morning, and I asked him, I was like, oh, did you feed the dogs when you let them out? And he said that he didn't, but I'm pretty sure he didn't even bring them in and then take them out. I think he just left them out all night. But he did take out the trash, apparently, including a pizza box that was sitting on top of that white box. So that's good. I wasn't sure if he took the box out. But anyway, I'm going to go feed the dogs because he wasn't able to. He's usually in a hurry, so he usually doesn't do much in the morning. I'm not complaining about that, but that's just the reason why I don't think he let the dogs out. I don't think he even brought them in to begin with because he usually wouldn't have taken the time to let the dogs out before leaving for work. So I don't think that I think they were just out all night, which if they're both in there, that's fine with me. I don't mind them being out all night. I try to kind of go by what he wants to do with the dogs because he's more used to dogs and has had dogs in the past, unlike me, who hasn't had a dog for more than a couple days in the past that I can remember. So I try to go by what he wants to do, and if he wanted to leave them out all night, then I guess that's fine, as long as they're still here. The only reason I can think of to not leave them out all night is if it's going to storm or rain, or I'll have some kind of like terrible weather, like a tornado or something, or if they're going to get out, if they'll be left unattended all night. The one isn't ours, and I don't think he would get out, but Zena's small enough she might. Anyway, I've talked way too long. I need to go feed the dogs, and yeah, maybe I'll talk to you later. Hey, so I want to talk to you guys for a minute, and then I'm wanting to play my game. I just realized my video camera and this thing are both black. It is my game, but it's actually Brett's 3DS. But anyway, I was on a side note. Anyway, I don't know if I'm gonna get it past. I don't know if I'll get everything out that I need to get out before I have to stop the video camera because I'm currently at the house that I nanny, and the boy that I watch, the 2-year-old, he's upstairs taking a nap. But maybe like 2 minutes ago, I just heard him talking and saying my name, and then like coughing and kind of saying a couple things. But I think he stopped, so I think he might went to sleep. But if not, I might have to stop this and go up and get him. But that's the situation right now. Yeah. So anyway, a side note, I put it away, but I was gonna grab it and show you. But I am reading a book called Without Rival that I am reading with, I forgot to, anyway, I had to finish a thought after I talked to you, but reading a book, and it's with like it's like a women's study thing that we have at our church, and they do a morning one and now an afternoon or an evening one on Thursdays that I'm able to go to, which I'm super thankful for. But I was just thinking about, after I read that, I was just kind of like thinking about how grateful I am, and just thinking about different things and how this is gonna get God related for a minute. But anyway, how like I pray for things, or like people pray for things. Like we'll say personally how I pray for things, and God answers the prayers. Like two big things, at least big things to me. God answers them when I'm least expecting it. I was just thinking of two main things. Well, one, just to like give a short thing. One was finding a church that I could be a part of and get involved in and know the people and be able to go every week and really be involved. And that was the first thing. And what happened? That was the thing that happened first. That was like back in like 2015, I think. Yeah, it was like 2 years ago. And then the other one was finding, well, pretty much like having friends, having like a girl time and stuff. There's more explanation to that, but pretty much that kind of thing. And possibly finding a time that I could go to this girls' book group thing at our church was one of the things that I kind of prayed for. Although it wouldn't have had to be that was just something that I was hoping. And that ended up happening like a week or two later after I specifically prayed that. But I've kind of been praying in broad terms for that kind of thing for like 5 years. But it just kind of gets me very emotional just thinking about that. But yeah, I was just thinking about that before I talked to you guys. So if my eyes look watery at all, which they probably don't by now, but if they do at all, then that's why. Anyway, done with the side note. But this morning, after I talked to you, that was possibly going to be the last time I talked to you today, and I was fine with that. But then, probably right after I talked to you, maybe. No, I went down and fed the cats. Did I show you that? I think I did. Well, anyway, when I went out to feed the dogs, which was pretty much right after that, I got both the dog cups with their food. They have separate food. I took it out there, and I like opened the door to go out there, and I closed the door, and Brett always locks the door when he leaves, type thing. We turn this little thing to lock it, and he always locks it when he leaves, and I'm still home, and a lot of times still in bed when he leaves. And so it was locked when I went to it, and like from the inside you can just turn it to go outside. And usually I turn it and stuff, and it unlocks, and I walk outside. So anyway, I turned it and opened the door and walked outside and closed the door and went and like emptied the dog food into the dishes. And then I go back inside, and the door is locked. So apparently I didn't turn the knob enough to unlock it. Usually if you turn it, it'll unlock, but I didn't turn it enough, I guess, and so it stayed locked as far as the outside is concerned. And so I was locked. It was like 20 minutes until I had to leave for work, and I was locked out of my house. I could go in the sunroom. I think you've seen the sunroom. I could go in the sunroom, but I couldn't get in the house anywhere. I tried to go in through those back windows that lead into the kitchen. I got there's like a small, like a thin window type of thing that I was able to get lifted up because it was already partly up, but there's a screen behind that and a bigger window behind that, and I couldn't get the screen, and I thought about eventually thought about ripping the screen, just like tearing it and eventually getting a new one. But I was like, well, even if I open that, there's the other window, and I'm not sure I could get that open because it's not really set in order to get it in a way that's meant to get it open from the outside. So I was like, well, there's no use in me tearing up the screen if I'm not going to be able to get into the house. It'd be kind of useless and stuff. So I went into the garage to look for a spare key, although I was almost positive, and correctly so, that there was no key out there. The only spare keys that we have were Shane's, Brett's friend that was staying with us. And when he gave those back to us, when he moved out, I put those in one of our cupboards in the kitchen, so I knew that they were in there. And my keys were in the house, in my bag, in my purse. And so I went ahead and looked in the garage, didn't find a key anywhere. I looked in all the drawers, I kind of looked on Brett's thing. It was kind of a mess because there's a bunch of stuff out there, and he's a busy person. But I looked in there, couldn't find a key. I knew that we have a side door and we have a front door, and I was almost positive, and truthfully so, that those were locked. But I went ahead and checked those just in case. I didn't want to not get inside just because I assumed they were locked. But I went ahead and checked, and they were locked. And I was like, well, what can I do? So I posted on Facebook, or I texted Brett a couple times. I told him that I was locked out, and then asked him what to do. Like 5 minutes after that, after I told him it was locked, and he didn't reply. And so I was like, well, what else can I do? And my mom had started replying to me on Facebook, or well, I posted on Facebook that like I was locked out, and like I got asking advice on there what to do, or if I should just say that I can't go into work. And so my mom replied to that, and we were kind of replying to everything, so back and forth, and she said to call Brett. So I told her I tried to text him, but I was like, I'll try to call him. So I tried to call him twice, and it went straight to the voicemail, which the voicemail box is full, so apparently it doesn't check his voicemail. But anyway, the voicemail, it went straight to voicemail. So I hung up, and I told her that he didn't answer. And then I tried a couple minutes later, I think, and it rang that time, but he didn't answer. And then he ended up calling. I don't remember what I was doing. I think I was watching a video or something. Maybe I wouldn't even, I don't know. I was trying to figure out what to do. I think it was still at that point. He called me back, and long story short, he ended up, and I had been texting my boss, the mom of the boy that I watch, during this time too, because I knew I was going to be late, and she had to be at a meeting that was very important for her to be at 9, and at this point it's like 7:20 something. So Brett calls me, and I kind of talked to him about it and stuff, and he's like, oh, it's really important that you need to be there. I was like, yeah, kind of. I mean, I could just not go. I don't want to make you leave work or anything, but she says she needs to be there. It's kind of just like kind of an important thing. Aside from that, if I can't be there in time, then it's not a big deal. Like, if beyond that fact, it's not a big deal for me to rush, because it's just a day of work. But anyway, like she could work from home or something besides the meeting situation. But anyway, he ended up leaving work and driving to our house in Marion, from Delaware, where he works, to Marion, which is like a half hour, or a little more, probably a half hour from where he works. He came and unlocked the door. I went in and got my stuff, and we both left. I left a little bit, like, right before he did. I left first, and drove here, and got here at, like, I was supposed to be here originally at 8. I was trying to leave at 7, but I didn't leave until probably 8, and got here at 8:41, unfortunately. But it worked out okay. But it was a crazy morning, and I wish I would have taken you guys out and had vlogingness of all the craziness. And my dog was driving me crazy. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but I have, yeah, you can't really see it too well, but like right there, and there, and yeah, a lot of it's faded, but there's just like, my dog was jumping all over me, and I wanted to change my pants because they were like all kinds of muddy from my dog jumping on me. I like dragged her into the garage and put her in her cage, and I'm like, fine, you can just stay there, you're not going to be out all day, because I'm frustrated at you and frustrated at the whole situation. And yeah, it was very frustrating. I started out feeling optimistic, but didn't work out. I was hoping I could maybe get in one of those windows, but that didn't happen. I was like, oh, I have 20 minutes. Like, if I can get in this window, it's kind of tall, but I can use the chair. Didn't work out, but I'm here. I made it to work. Only 41 minutes late. Luckily, I planned to leave early, so that hadn't happened when I was like running behind already. Anyway, I'm going to play the game until the boy that I watch wakes up. It's like 3:56. I probably talked talked to you guys for like 11 minutes. I'm sorry, this is going to be a long video. But I'm going to end it here, I promise, unless something else exciting happens. But I promise I'm going to end it here.